right, we are off to Central America in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Off the streets into school. My name is Jordi, and I'm 13 years old. I live in the city of Tegucigalpa, Honduras. 8 years ago, my mother died. There was only my grandmother to care for me. Sometimes she worked and sometimes she couldn't find work. We were living in a mud house with no windows, no electricity, and no water. I couldn't go to school because we couldn't pay for it. Then, 3 years ago, my grandmother died. I didn't have anyone to take care of me. Luckily, a friend of my mother's knew about El Hogar de Amor y Esperanza, which means the home of love and hope. I came to live here. It is very special because it is an orphanage for boys and girls, and at the same time, it is a school. This year, because I'm older, I started going to school at the technical school. I live there too. I am finishing my first year of carpentry. When I've finished the course, I'd like to go to university and study to be a civil engineer. I want to get a good job and get married. It is a huge blessing for me to be here. If I hadn't come here, I know I would be on the street without any opportunities. There are a lot of gun groups in our city because there are many, many children who didn't have the opportunity that I have. Yardi lives in Honduras, one of the poorest countries in the Western world. 30% of the workers are unemployed. Many fathers have to leave their families to find work in other countries. About half of the families are made up of mothers struggling to raise their children alone. Finding a place. Half the people living in Honduras are children under 18, and hundreds of thousands of them are living on their own. Wanting to belong somewhere, about 100,000 kids have joined gangs. Yordi's school, El Hogar, was created to give kids an option besides gangs. El Hogar de Amor y Esperanza. Home and school. El Hogar is home to 260 students. Some of the students are orphans. Others have been abandoned. All the kids live and study at the school for free. They also receive medical care. The school runs on donations from people living in North America. Into the working world. El Hogar goes up to 6th grade, but the learning doesn't stop there. The school's goal is to help students become active citizens so they don't return to the streets when they graduate. When kids finish 6th grade, they move on to one of El Hogar's high schools. They can choose the technical school, where they learn trades such as carpentry or welding, or the agricultural school, where they learn new farming methods. When they have finished high school, students are ready to head out into their communities and share their learning. When students at El Hogar aren't in class, they play soccer and basketball, draw with chalk, and play games with marbles. Basically, they get to act like kids. This is a whole new experience for them. Because there are so many boys on the streets, about 10 times more than girls, the school at first only took boys. Now El Hogar is home to a few girls as well. Fact, about 143 million orphan kids live in developing countries.